Hey guys, I'm gonna show you the rig I'm running on the Invitationals this year. A little different than probably anything else you're gonna see out there. It's a Lake and Bay Boca Grande. It's a 20.5-foot boat. Run a 250 Merc on it. And it is a no carpet, no gunnel. A little, like I said, a little different than a bass boat. I'm not a big fan of carpet in the boat. It gets dirty, gets wore out, gets heavy, gets wet, everything else. My deck here cleans up with a little brush and some soap. I've done a little customization on this boat. The guys at Lake and Bay offer a few different options as well too. So I'm gonna start at the front of the boat, running a Minn Kota. All Trex here, foot control. So I had to cut a whole little deck out of the hole in the deck there to handle the foot control. Normally a lot of these boats are set up with a hand control or with more of an iPilot scenario remote, but that doesn't work well on the freshwater side. So I cut my hole in there and mounted this up. I'm running 2 units up front. I got a Garmin forward-facing 12-inch unit and a 15-inch Humminbird that I'm running 360 on and mapping as well. It's not up there right now, but it slides in right next to that Garmin. The front deck here is completely open storage. This is where the majority of my my tackle will ride in there. I run a extra battery, lithium battery in the top and the front here that direct wires into my units up front, so I'm always supplying good voltage to it on a short run, so my screens are really clear and I don't have any issues there. And I will load all the tackle, which you kind of see here on the ground. I've got them pretty organized with tackle this year. Everything is in these little dealios I use for kind of saltwater rigs. When I'm saltwater fishing, I've kind of adapted them to my freshwater, and I've got all my flipping baits. I've got my kind of fat aces and worms, and these are my swim baits and trailers in there. Those will all slide right up in the front of my boat here. I've got 2 rod lockers on this boat that will fit a ton of rods. They run from here all the way to the front. I can put 8-foot rods in there and a dozen rods on each side, no problem. So plenty of rod storage. A little different ride than a bass boat where you're kind of sit down in a cockpit. These seats are kind of up on top of the deck, and I'm comfortable with it. It sometimes takes guys a little while to get used to 74 miles an hour and sitting on a deck, but they do. Live well, I've got one giant live well in the center here that's divided in the middle. I can pump in and recirc water. I can shut it off and isolate the water. I run bubblers in it. I have 2 sets of bubblers in it. Does a great job keeping fish alive. It's fantastic. Bob's jack plate on the back here. Power pole blades. Set a 250 Pro XS. I run a 3-blade 24. Fully tournament loaded. You know, a couple guys in the boat. Full live wells. I'm usually looking to run low 70s. And if I'm not loaded with anything in here, it's just me. It's a probably mid to upper 70s boat. All my batteries are up front. I've got the power pole charge system built in, so when I'm running, it's diverting charge over to my batteries, and everything is always staying sharp here. Trim tabs. I've got some Lenco tabs on this boat. They work real well in the chop, and if I get in some bumpy water, they can really help me keep that bow down and run water real well in this boat. Humminbird unit on the front here, tied into the one up front so I can share waypoints. Got my GoPro set up here with a USB power cord that runs directly off here, so I don't have to worry about running out of batteries. I can just continually run it with a 256 megabyte chip in there, so I've got plenty to run all day. I'm not messing around changing batteries. Don't like that. Under here is kind of where I keep all miscellaneous stuff. I've got sun hat, pliers, jump box if I need to crank a battery over, dies, and that's pretty much my rig. Big cooler up front here. Keep all my drinks in there and food or whatever I want to keep cold. I added this deck here in the front to extend the deck a little more casting room, or when I've got a team tournament going on with 2 of us in the boat, it's a lot more room up here. No one steps off the back. That's my boat that I'm running this year. I'm super excited about it. This boat runs rough water, it runs shallow well, it's quick, it's going to get me around, and hopefully put a bunch of fish in the live well. Follow me on tour, learn more about Gambler Lures, learn more about what it's like to travel around the country and chase bass for a year. Make sure you subscribe, follow us at Gambler Lures, because I'm going to be posting a ton of content about my life on tour this year.